everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and I'm super excited that you're here today because we will be talking about Natasha Denona's new Xenon palette that came out. I also have her minis, so we're going to do a little comparison. I'm going to do a demo on my eyes. We're going to swatch. We're going to talk about the formulas. We're going to talk about the colors that are in this palette. They range from very, very, very sparkly whites to some grays and steely tones into blacks. And then we even have her blackest black over here. This is not a palette that I think any of us expected to see right now, which I think is kind of cool because it always seems like there are these phases where you go through having, you know, the latte palettes, the nude palettes, the pink palettes. It goes in stages, duochromes. You know, sometimes we have little sparkly pots. Sometimes it's really nice to have a variety in one place. And there's nothing to say that this has to be a freestanding palette. This palette can be incorporated with lots of others. One of my favorite black eyeshadows that I wear is Onyx from Victoria Beckham. And I just literally use it to just like smoke out an eye, but it's sort of sparkly and a really, really cool color. We'll do a comparison with it and see if there's, you know, anything in here that looks like that also. I haven't really watched any of the other beauty YouTubers talking about the palette, other than I've seen that there is definitely discussion going on, and I can see by the thumbnails that not everybody's pleased. And I don't think that everybody's going to be pleased with a really cool toned story like this. The same way some people are not really geeked up when there's a really warm palette to choose from. So we are going to go through these. I'm going to just either call them matte or sparkling for the video because I don't have my glasses and she has so many different formulas, but I just do want to tell you from her website, she says, the Xenon palette showcases a scale of light to deep grays. So I know one of the complaints that I heard that it wasn't black. Well, this is grays. She wanted to do an all gray palette with different finishes of black, multi-reflective whites, and a touch of cool toned nudes. This festive season must-have features 6 high shine metallics, 4 signature buttery soft mattes, 1 cream to powder formula, and 3 dazzling sparkling foiled finishes, complemented by the new sparkling wet effect formula. This is made in Italy. From Natasha's classic smoky eyes to sophisticated everyday wear or sparkling dramatic glam, the Xenon palette's versatile hues, tones, and finishes suit every occasion. Her user-friendly eyeshadow formula blends seamlessly to deliver vibrant, ultra-pigmented looks and professional results for all skill levels. I have primed my eyes as recommended. Today I used the Guerlain Eye Stay Primer. It's a favorite of mine. We're supposed to apply her shadow base across the entire eyelid. This velvety, lightweight formula creates a flawless canvas for your eyeshadows, ensuring long-lasting wear and intensifying the vibrant colors. Well, I've used a primer. I didn't have hers handy. Matte shadows for a seamless diffuse finish. Apply in a swiping motion with a fluffy eyeshadow brush, ensuring to tap off all excess for maximum color payoff. Apply with a soft, dense eyeshadow brush in packing motions and then blend to diffuse. Metallic and sparkling foiled eyeshadows for maximum payoff apply with a soft, dense eyeshadow brush in a packing motion, and for a foiled finish, apply with a damp, dense eyeshadow brush or with the tip of your finger, which I know a lot of us do. Okay, now I can describe them before I swatch them. Okay, going across the top, we have Rhyme, which is a metallic white, Cygnus, which is the sparkling foiled anthracite, Stellar, sparkling wet effect white, Blizzard, matte light gray, Grew, sparkling metallic iron gray, Ebb, metallic midnight blue, Super Ionic, I cannot read, Super Ionic, sparkling foiled silver with multicolored specks, Sposh, which is a matte cream to powder charcoal, Snowbow, which is a sparkling pink with multicolored specks, Night Sky, which is a metallic black, Contrail, which is a matte white, Snert, it's a funny name, matte medium gray, and Neve, sparkling metallic peony pink, Flurry, matte eggshell, and Skift, a sparkling foiled light medium champagne. I'm going to be looking down just to see what the colors are. I'm going to go across, I'm going to go 4 at a time because I've found that doing thumbs just is really rough. Let me get my handy Clinique wipes because, okay, going across, I am going to have 4 shades to show you. Some of these are really soft and buttery. Okay, I don't see any complaints yet here. So we have Rhyme, which is my first finger here, guys. Rhyme, which is a metallic white, Cygnus, which is a sparkling foiled anthracite. Then we have Stellar, a sparkling wet effect white, and Blizzard, a matte light gray. So I'm going to swatch these for you. Okay, so that is the first 4 shades. Very pretty so far. Very pretty. I like the consistency of the shadows right now. I like that they look like they're going to be buildable, which I think is really important with colors like this. Okay, I'm going to take the next 4. We will have Grew, Ebb, Super Ionic, whoa, and Sposh. Okay, here are the next 4. Going across, starting here, we have, I got to do it with my phone. We have Grew, the sparkling metallic gray. Next one is Ebb, metallic midnight blue. Super Ionic, a sparkled foiled silver with multicolored specks. And Sposh, a matte cream to powder charcoal. I'm going to keep going here. There are the swatches. I have to say, they really are tone differences when you look at them. So far, so good. I'm pleased. You know, it's hard when you see that you're going to be getting something and there's already controversy about it. So I'm kind of trying to be just ready for anything. We're going to do the next 4, which are Snowbow, which is a crystal sparkling pink with multicolored specks. Night Sky, which is a metallic black. Contrail, matte white. And then we have Snert, matte medium gray. I think I'm going to go right here. I can't move over. Okay, there we go. That pink is really pretty. Some of these foiled ones are super interesting that I wasn't expecting to see in here. We have our last three. So we're going to have Neve. What, like that one? Flurry. Okay, Neve, which was a sparkling metallic peony pink. Then we have Matte Eggshell Flurry. And then Sparkling Foiled Light Medium Champagne. That's a surprise. Okay. That is the swatches. If we can move my watch off. I'm going to turn this on real bright for a minute. So you can really see the dimensionality of the colors. Oh, wait, it wasn't even on the brightest. Let's do that again. Okay, so when I look at these, there are some gorgeous shimmering wet effects that I just love wearing. I love that new formula. It's so thin. And having gone through like all of those minis for you guys and swatching them all, her formulas have evolved. And I'm seeing a lot of the new ones in here, which is exciting. I think the wet effect ones are so cool. I love how thin they are. I love that you can apply them on top of other colors to make a matte into something sparkly. I like that she's given us a champagne color to work with and the pink and some really pretty pearly kind of silvers and whites. I think we have a nice selection to work with here. The one thing that I did hear somebody say, because it's hard to avoid, was that a lot of the colors seemed like they were turning blue. Cool, warm. Scott Barnes had a palette that has all the sparkling shades in it. And there were two different blacks, and when you could see what colors they kind of like were going into. Like one was a little bit more in the gray and one was a little bit more in the blue. Blacks are hard. That is why she invented her blackest black, which she put in this little guy. And let me swatch this just so we have them here. I am going to use my thumb for this since there are 5 and I just want to get through it. So this is like a whole other row of shades. So we have Blackest Black, Gloom, Chromatic, Mist, and Puff. And I'm just going to kind of hold this up as another row. I think it's so interesting that sometimes the mini comes out first and then she'll make a midi or her larger size palette. And sometimes she goes the other direction where she makes the midi palette and then goes to one of the minis. I think it's interesting how they play off of each other. And I think it's cool that you get a little taste of everything with these. Let me just swatch this one for you. We have Blackest Black. I don't have the names in front of me. The Crazy Silver. And those are the swatches of the 5-pan. Oh, these are going to be interesting poses, I think. I wanted to pull this out because this is her Sunset palette. And we are used to seeing warm tones, but this warm toned palette was like her first kind of foray away from the giant palettes that she did with the 64 shades. And this became just an absolute sensation in makeup because nobody had seen tones like this, you know, when they went to the department stores. And then, you know, we had companies like ABH that were starting to make some things, but when this came out, it was so incredibly different and so incredibly just forward thinking and creative, and people ate this palette up. And I think what's happening here with the Xenon palette, I don't think that people are used to seeing so many cool tones together in one of these palettes. You know, even, you know, her Nudist Nude went from kind of cool to rosy, and even the Glam palette, which tends to be on the cooler side of things, obviously didn't go to this extent. So I think we have a learning curve, and I think we need to give this the best chance that it can have to work for us and to see, you know, when we would want to use some of these different shades in our looks. Using other palettes, I could see, you know, bringing in like just a pink eye and then kind of going in with some of the grays and the sparkles. I could see going blue and using some of these. You know, you have to kind of retrain the way that you're thinking to not think that this can't be possible in making a beautiful look. I hope that I can prove that today, and I hope that the formulas are wonderful. As much as I love her, I am going to say what I'm feeling. I'm not sponsored in any way, obviously. I'm like brand new. I will say the silver in this and the blackest black in this is worth a purchase. You know, if you feel like this is too much gray, I really do think that the mini is a nice kickstart, and you can pull other colors into it. You're never going to find a silver like this or a black this inky, I think, in the majority of palettes. I mean, I've seen some things in indie, obviously, where they kind of push the envelope a little bit more. And Natasha was indie. You know, she started out, none of us knew who she was, and they brought her into Sephora, and all of a sudden, you know, she went from indie to sensation. I'm going to start with a fluffy brush, and looking at these colors, I can either start with one of these grays here. I want to do something across my lid. I'm going to swatch those 3 lighter shades again so we can kind of see what direction we want to go. They are very soft and they do pick up very easily with a finger. So there are definitely some tonal differences there. And in looking at them with my skin, I'm kind of feeling like maybe this is more skin native for me and might be a better place to start, just to go across the lid. So I am going to start with Flurry. I knew I wouldn't be done with these wipes yet. Can't keep my hands out of the makeup, but that's the way it is. When you love it, you love it. Okay. I love it. I love to play. Okay, so I am going to put the one that I thought was a little bit more skin native, this color called Flurry. And I'm going to take a Wayne Goss. I hope his brushes come out. I saw like a little teaser. I have been like dying for him to make some new brushes because his are so special. So I'm just taking some of this Flurry. I will zoom you in a little bit here so you can get a better look. When I'm looking over here, I'm looking into a mirror. And in front of me, I have one of those color switch great things from Sigma. Show it to you. See, I think this is kind of perfect for my skin tone, just because it didn't go super cold. It's probably the cool side of, you know, it's a warmer gray, which is weird to say because I love cool tones. But I think in order to make this work for me, I think this color is going to be a great base. This is the Sigma thing that I have in front of me. You can also use this to wash brushes. It's fantastic. I love it. Sometimes I use that and sometimes I just use like, so I've got my base and I think it's pretty. I think it's a good color to start with. Okay, now I'm going to look at the palette. You're going to look at it over here so that it's fair. We both get to see. I am, first of all, just so intrigued by the fact that there's a champagne-y color in here and this more pink color. And I can see that there's like some blue reflex in some of these. Some are truly gray. And I'm loving some of these topper shades. I think I want to take like a medium shade to go into my crease. I think I'll use my Angie Hot and Flashy A503, which is a nice fluffy brush to get into my crease with my hooded eyes. I always think of my brow bone as my new crease. Otherwise, I would have no lid space. When my eyes are open, you wouldn't see anything. We do the whole eye because our eyes are looking around all the time, but I do like to have kind of like a mid-tone. So I am going to go into Snert. It just kind of seems like a very medium tone. I'm tapping off a little bit on my hand and kind of looking to see like what the pigmentation's like. It's always good to start slow and then build because taking it off is so much harder than putting it on. This has a lot of pigment. I'm going to wipe some of this off my brush, even though I went in super light. This is going very far, which I'm not complaining. So I'm going right up against my brow bone. And then I like to go out because as I'm losing my real estate here, I want to gain it over here. With my eye wide open though, I have to be able to see the shade. So I have to go up a little bit higher than you would think. Like when my eyes are open like that, even though that would look deranged if I looked like that all the time. So this is just a nice way to put a nice little transition in here, and I'm even going to pull this down. Got plenty on here to just create that frame that I always like to work with. I'm taking a tiny bit, tapping off, and we're going to fill in just some of it over here. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye. My eyes are not the same. People's eyes age differently. I sleep on one side of on this side all the time. So I think my face is falling more on this side than it is on the other side. We'll use the power of makeup to even things out. So I am just darkening up just that little V, making sure that when my eye is wide open, I can see this color, and pulling it out. Can always go back in and we can add, but now I feel like at least I have a shape that I'm working with. I'm going to take it's nice and big. So this is the Wayne Goss 4. This is completely clean. I'm just blending this again because I don't want to have any harsh lines. I like all of my transitions to come together. I just keep going up here a little bit to make sure that my falling down eye has some eyeshadow on it so it can bring up. And then just up and out. That was all with a clean brush. I like eyeshadows to be nice and thin, but I also like there to be some impact and some dimensionality and all of those good things. I'm going to blend out this shade a little bit. I'm going to go into Contrail, which is kind of a matte white. And I'm just going to softly blend out any lines that I have and just kind of soften this crease color that I've put in. I put this lipstick on today. This is from Mob Beauty. I'm like very interested in Mob Beauty. I'm going to make an order today. Really interesting colors, interesting formulas. Okay, I like where I'm at. Okay, now what I think we need to do is to give this eye a little depth. So we're going to have to come up with something that's going to go kind of like at the lash line and out. I want to create a little drama. I don't like a wing per se, but I do like a wing-ish. But what I'd like to do first is sort of pack a little bit onto this part of my eye here and come out. And I want it to be the darkest color that we use. So let's take a look at our choices here. I could go with Ebb, which is a little more blue than I would like. I could go with Sposh, which is kind of like a medium gray tone. I could, oh, this one's soft. I could go for Night Sky, which definitely seems to have like more of a sheen to it, even though they're mattes. I'm going to swatch both of these so we can see what the difference is. I kind of like the shine on Night Sky. Even though it's a matte, it's sort of like a satiny matte. It just seems to have some pretty sheen to it. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of Night Sky. I'm going very slowly. It's going to be a slow build. And I'm going very, very close to my lash line here. And then I just want to go and sort of create this outer part of my eye. And I want to start kind of going up to really create that shape that is more flattering because it's lifting the eye up. And I think this color is doing a really nice job. You can see I'm going very slowly, taking a little bit at a time. So this is really good for packing it over here. I think I'm going to take a different brush to like bring it up. Singe Beauty E02 brush. This is Angelica Newquist's brush company. These are vegan brushes that really behave so much like natural hair brushes, and they do a great job of picking up. Look at how like easily I was able to just create that lifted shape. So I'm going to do that again. Singe Beauty E01 first, starting slow. Starting to create the shape. And again, it's just so important to like take the time to do this for you. Like if you are not falling down over here, you don't have to fake a crease. Maybe you have like all the lid space in the world. I just want new real estate. I need something fun to work with. So this is really nice, the way this is building. Let me get our second brush. This is really beautiful, making me want sparkles though, because you know we're going there. You know we're going to Sparkle Land. How could we not? I want to try out all these different formulas. Okay, so I want some sparkles, so we have to pick some sparkles. I want it to be a little bit lighter, and then I'll put like a darker sparkle in also, because I've always liked to put it kind of like above my little shape right here. But for the lighter colors, we have Stellar, Neve, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not going to go into this pink or champagne right now. I kind of want to stay in this gray direction that we're going. Wow. These are pretty awesome. Let's swatch these. So this one was Super Ionic. This one was Stellar. And this one is Neve. Now, when I look at these in this light, so I'm looking at these, and this is just very silver, very. And I'm looking at it with my coloring, with my hair. There's this one that's got this glistening sort of beigey look. And this one is just kind of like a softer white, like a true white. I think I want to start with this one on part of my mobile lid. I want to try to like use this as like that inner part, and then I'd like to put this one in the middle, and we'll hold on to Super Ionic for plans for it later. I'm taking an Angie Hot and Fleshy A501, and I'm going to go into Neve. This doesn't pick this up, and I have other brushes. I'm going to tap some of this off, and I want to just start to kind of lighten up this part of my eye. We have tons of real estate over here that we forget about. We don't need it as much when we're younger, but boy, does it look pretty special when you have it on. Okay, I like that. I like that we've kind of lightened up that corner a little bit. It's such a lightweight formula. You can really feel like that this is just going to be a very wearable kind of palette. It's also the kind of palette, though, that I would like to keep going back into with clean brushes. This is one of my favorite blending brushes of all time. This is a Wayne Gosso 3. And it's soft. Oh, I can't wait for his brushes, you guys. I'm going to be like the first one in line. It's been so long. And he's what really got me to start even thinking about brushes in the first place. I was just like really, you know, like all of us, we were around the creation of so many different looks like we are now, like with social media. So I'm liking this. I think it's looking very blended. I am feeling like right here, I need a little bit of a lift. And I generally do that with a little bit of a sparkly shade, but not too sparkly. And the two that I'm looking at right now are Cygnus and Gru. Boy, they are both really pretty, aren't they? I think this one is going to go, well, I don't think we can lose with either, but I am going to go with the darker one for right now. So we're going to go into Cygnus. This one is kind of reminding me of the Victoria Beckham. Let me grab the one so we can swatch it. Okay, so the Victoria Beckham sparkling shades come in these little pots, and they are called her lid lusters. Her packaging is gorgeous with this tortoise shell. And then when you open these up, there's a lid inside that keeps this from drying out or getting super messy. And this is one that I usually do with my finger, and then I kind of like do this with it. So I just want to see what this color looks like by itself. That's the Victoria Beckham Lid Luster in Onyx that I am really used to wearing. And let's just swatch it next to Cygnus and Brew. You could include Ebb too, even though I think this one's going more blue. Yeah, Ebb is very, very blue. I'm going to get rid of that one. Okay, so this one is Cygnus, and the next one is Brew. Nothing like that. So definitely more silver, whereas the Victoria Beckham one is definitely more black. Oh, interesting. But with grays and blacks, there are just so many ways that you can manipulate these colors and have them, you know, all look and read a little bit differently on the eye. So I decided on Cygnus, and usually I go in with my finger first, but I'm going to go with one of my very favorite brushes. It's a Scott Barnes fan brush. Let's hope he is bringing these back. I haven't seen anything from him lately. I remember hearing that he was rebranding, but probably something I should go and see. He usually does something for the holidays, and if he has brushes again, it's just going to be fantastic. Okay, so I went into Cygnus. And I'm just going to slowly take this one, I've got it on both sides, and really extend this up thing that we have going on. And I'm doing the same thing over here. I'm kind of going on the sides of the brush instead of the top. And I'm just kind of taking what I did here and sort of blending it up and out. The pearl in these is just beautiful. I mean, I don't think that you could get a better combo here to really smoke out a look. I think this is so pretty right now. I love this. And black is hard. I mean, gray kind of is like the kinder, gentler of this kind of palette. All right, you guys, I want to start getting into some of these sparkly lighter shades. I am going to show you the lighter sparkles again. We used Nev. I said I wanted to use Stellar in the center, which is going to be this guy. And I'm going to use my secret weapon in the world of sparkles, the number 21 Rephr brush. There is nothing like it. You want to pick up some sparkles? Pick up this brush. It does not disappoint. And it's better to start out with this than with your finger, just so you can get like an idea, because I think once your finger goes on there, you're really putting a lot of product on. I am going to focus on the center of my lid, and I like to go all the way to the lash line, because with a hooded eye, when I open it, that is what you can see. But when I open my eye and look down like this, you need the consistency of the shadow going up into where your eye starts to fold like that. And I'm going to pull this out just a little bit because I'm going to be taking a color to bridge this. Go on the other side right now with Stellar. It is just so lightweight, and the sparkle is really gorgeous. I could see using this shade with other palettes to give that like almost like a snow effect. It's like a snowy silvery white. And the sparkle and the pearl in this is so beautiful. I'm loving that. I take a tiny little bit with my finger and just intensify right at the lash line like that. Almost like a liner. Getting somewhere here. I need something to bridge this really dark part of my eye with this middle part of my eye so that I have a little bit of balance. So I'm looking here. I'm kind of feeling like maybe we should go into Snert a little bit first. Maybe I should be showing that to you. Snert. I'm going to use my finger. This is one of her mattes, and I want to just make this transition a little softer here. And I know I went back to matte here, but that's just the right tone to sort of marry these together so that you actually start to believe that there's a sparkle for this one. Now I'm going to go into Grew, which is a little bit lighter, and then just kind of tap like this. We're going to have to try to balance things out. I'm going to put a little bit more of that Stellar on with my finger to get the shine back, but to make sure that we're blended. We're going to have to blend on the other side too, but right now I want to start looking at the balance. So we need to do some work on our lower lash line before we can continue, just to kind of get an idea for how this look is going to balance and how we're going to make it wearable with my mature eyes. I think I'm going to use the fan brush again. It hugs the bottom part so nicely, and I think I'm going to start with Snert because it's just kind of mid-tone, not too much. I'm not going to go too far with this because I don't think I want to take the dark all the way, but I just want to kind of connect to this outer part here. I'm just kind of doing like not quite to the center, and then I'm sort of blending here. I need to try like something that's matte but light. So I don't know that I want to go completely totally white. I think I want to go with more of a pearly white. I think it's going to show less texture. So we're going to go with Rhyme color. Is like a pearl, which is very pretty for that inner corner. So I'm going into like that center, and I'm even blending further that lighter color that I had, and I can take a little bit of it and put it right into the brow bone like that. I actually really love these pearly colors. I have grown to love them. I just did the Chanel that had that like a pearly, it's kind of like a pearly blue in the palette that I had. But I love to be able to switch things up between pearly and sparkly, and I like to incorporate them together. And this is always kind of a hard spot for me because I feel like my skin is not as tight here as it used to be, and it needs help being smoother. I think we've done that here. I'm going to take that color underneath my eye also, and I'm going to have it meet the inner corner highlight and pull it out. I don't really want to blend into the gray, just kind of in the middle there, just to make everything a little bit softer. I just don't want the darker part to be here. I want to bring some light into it. Are we having fun yet? I've got a lot of eyeshadow on, trying to use as many colors as I can without being completely out of control. It's a 15 pan palette. I'm not going to be able to use everything, I don't think, on the first go. But I do want to just kind of like take a look at it for a minute. I feel like right here is my nemesis, this part of my eye. Everything seems very blended. And I always kind of do this with my fingers a little bit. It takes off any extra eyeshadow that I have. You can kind of fix some things. Just taking a really good look. I want to put a little liner on and see where we're at. Let me grab that. Okay, I want to swatch a couple of these for you from Victoria Beckham Beauty. Okay, so we have Ashes on the bottom, Sea Gray is in the middle, and the top one is called Night Flash. And of all of her sparkly ones, that one's kind of the least sparkle. I need some dark. I need some contrast here. To show you Natasha Denona's black, which is quite black. So I am going to go up into the lashes and also my waterline. I curled my lashes before I turned the camera on because I like them to be curled and then see how it's going to hold so I can decide what kind of mascara I need. So what I'm doing is I'm going in between these lashes, especially out on the edge, because I really like the way that you can get the outside part of your eyes sort of fanned out. And then this part of it, I don't need as much mascara. I need to define that area, and I don't want it to look sparse. So I am tightlining, but I'm not tightlining as far up. Look at what a difference that makes. Huge. Sometimes when you're using shimmery colors or colors you're not used to, it helps to sort of ground everything with just plain old black. With a look like this, I want my lashes to be super big, super fanned out. Are stuck on me now for a while. Let me see if I can get them off with the famous Clinique wipe. Oh my, guys. These wipes have not failed me yet. I am going to take her matte color, this very ashy tone, but I want to do something on this inner waterline with some color, but not too dark. So I want to just go in, instead of the black, I think the gray is perfect. And I love that. This is a little secret weapon that we have. We have her silvery color. And you can go right at the edge of your lash line, right here, just to accent this white silver color that we have. And these don't, you know, wear off ever. Feeling a little like I need a punch. We need some punch, and I think I need it on the edge, on the side. I don't want it to go blue. I think I'm going to just kind of do some of this night sky with this Cygnus. I want to go back into Cygnus, I think. So this color had a lot of oomph. As you can see, I'm already back with fingers again because fingers are the best tool. I think after mascara, we will be able to really do some fun stuff. I kind of want to make the middle pop a little bit. I want to go into this super ionic. Just press it into the center. Ooh. That kind of like woke things up, huh? I want to have different colors. I just want them to be well blended. Okay, my battery died, so here we are again. I am going to take my very dramatic, very beautiful, very, very black Vast Lash from Victoria Beckham Beauty. The wand on this is genius. It's like got that like caterpillar-y look, and it's got that curve. You don't have a lot of playtime with this. It's like a new kind of formula, somebody was telling me. It's not a tubing mascara per se, like her other mascara, her Future Lash. Quite different. Now, with her original tubing mascara, your lashes stay soft and supple all day, and you can add to it till the cows come home. This one, you get one chance. I am telling you right now, I'm going to dink myself somewhere. My arthritis today is not terrific. It's raining, but I am going to hit something. I leave it alone until it's dry, and then I go in with a spoolie and do my cleanup. What I am going to do with this is I'm going to take it underneath all the way out to the edge of my lash, and I am going to be pushing against the bottom of the lashes and then closing my eye, like blinking, to get it to go up. Here we go. I am in the lash line. I am wiggling, and I closed my eye. Do it again. Wiggling. All the way up. You can feel your lashes. Wiggling. And now I'm going to start to go over here, but I don't want to have no lashes going over here. It's just not as dramatic as I want the outer lashes to be. So I'm coming back over here again. And I'm just blinking into the mascara, and all I can say is, if you want to look like you have lash extensions, this is absolutely the best secret weapon. I mean, I don't like to wear false lashes. I like to use a serum. I've done the extensions thing and wound up with no lashes when I was done with that. That was really fun to try to deal with. And I'm doing that lower lash line. Definitely dinked over here. You can feel that it's starting to really dry. You don't want to get too into this while it's almost completely dry. Okay, so I picked this up at Ulta. It's like a little comb. And I go up through the lashes just to make sure everything is nice and separated. Okay, I can already feel that this is drying. This is like my last opportunity. You can go in this way if you want. And then take your finger and push against your lashes just to give them that one last little curl. Now, that's a dramatic difference with mascara, without mascara. Quite a mascara, I will say that. And the eyeshadow now is really, you can kind of like see that gradient that we were working on. I definitely want to work on that shine a little bit, but we'll get there. All right, let's do the other eye. My eyelashes get stuck in these. Okay. We're going to start all the way out at the end again. Wiggling, pushing, pulling up by blinking. I dinked. It's so hard to talk when you're, oh, that was a big one. See, this is what happens when you try to Look at this. When you have arthritis and you can't take your meds because you just had foot surgery, this is what happens. Okay, I want to feel all the way up on these lashes, up and out, ignoring the blobs that you see. I like the shine and the luster that I'm seeing through the lashes. Reevaluate your under eye to see what happens to those lashes also. Okay, now we gotta let that dry. I know I look ridiculous. It's okay. I don't mind. This is what really happens. I mean, like, have you ever sneezed putting on mascara before? Because I have, and literally, I don't think there's like a part of your face that like doesn't get affected. I'm gonna get a spoolie ready for this fun little endeavor. It's Natasha's too. I like what I'm seeing with this eye look. I may venture over here. I'm liking this gray tone. I want to see when we're looking at both of these together. That's definitely a color that I need, that I'm missing. It's sort of like that darker gray, which actually is fairly close to the one in the middle, even though this seems like more warm. Kind of like in splash, a little bit of splash. It's nice and thin. I'm just gonna go right at the edge. And I always like to do it like the same finger, both sides. I think it makes it more even. I am gonna do another video today with my Sephora suggestions, but I want to give you all just a little advice. There are so many sales now, and I was looking through my list that I had from last year, and with the things that are special for Sephora, like I'm a person who really does like the fact that you can try out perfumes with one of those kits and then get a full size, you know, perfume. And they have one like that with candles, where you get like all these little candles and then they give you a certificate to come in and to pick out the one that you like. I think it's a really neat gift because it's such like a personal thing. Perfume is not something that, you know, just because you like it doesn't mean that somebody else is going to like it, or that their body chemistry is going to be the same with, you know, the perfume. So those kinds of things I like. I also, there are some Sephora collection things at 30 off that I buy at every sale. We'll go over those. And I'm going to give you my suggestions on possibly keeping some of your money and saving it for these other sales. Because I have the percentages off that they wound up offering, like for Black Friday last year. Forget about after Christmas. Those sales are crazy because they're all like already sitting on all their spring stuff and they want to get it all out. I mean, Christmas started in August this year. It was nuts. Okay, I think we have a really pretty, smoky, sparkly, festive, fun eyeshadow look. You would definitely use less of the sparkly shades. I don't feel like this is necessarily an everyday palette. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's like this, or I need a nude today because I'm the neutrals queen. But there's something about this that is so appealing to me. I love these like topper shades that are just like little mirrors. This is Neve. I hope I'm saying that right. I have no idea. But I mean, look at that. Imagine me in like a fancy dress. And I'm really digging the nudish lip with this. I could use a little bit more of my cool tone cheek color called Condensate, which is from Phytosurgeons, which is also not at Sephora. I started looking at my table even. I got a lot of stuff here that's not from Sephora. But some of the stuff is going to go on sale. I'm not saying this is, because this is a little indie brand. I don't know how much less than $15 you could ask for a blush. These are the best blushes, period. What do you guys think? You hate it? You love it? You're somewhere in the middle? I wonder what would happen. Just, we're here. If I took a very, very tiny brush, just like a little liner brush, and I went into her blackest black and really tapped it off and just went right here at the lash line with that blackest black. I'm not making a wing, but I just don't want it to be going downward. I'm really getting like hardcore into the lashes, and then I'm just going to little teeny bit right here and just sort of mix in on the outside. See, I'm actually just like pushing it, tapping it, and you really just want to like press. And if you are somebody that still likes a winged liner, I think it would be really cool with this. I have to say, I do think that there is a place in my life for this palette, and I think I am going to absolutely love using it. I'm going to go into Blizzard. I haven't gone here yet. Just blend out the bottom a little. So it's sort of like an in-betweeny color. Oh, I love it. Ooh, guys, Blizzard. Hello, where have you been? Welcome to the party. It's nice to have something lighter that's not sparkly. And I like the fact that the sparkles are just like up and not down. And I sort of like the way it's like, I don't know, like zhuzhing together. All right, we're going to take one more dry brush. Just make sure that we don't have any excess product on that we don't want. And I think this is our finished look today. I love it. I wanted to stay true to the grays. When I do another look, we will get into this pink and the champagne and how we're going to incorporate this. But I got another video to make for you guys for tonight, and I really have tried very, very hard to put together a list that I think is things that you should buy during the Sephora sale, or things that I absolutely love. Okay. I'm going to give myself a nice spritz so that this can all meld together. This is the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray from Hourglass. It is hydrating, it's refreshing, and it does the job. And everything is just going to look much more smooth. Soft focus. Okay, let's scooch you back out for a sec. So, I have to say that I think this palette is very pretty. Is it my favorite of hers? No. But I'm super glad I have it. I mean, I could see like grabbing some of these shades, especially the ones that like lean blue, and just do that with like concealer and just like a little bit of like that blue, black, gray. You know, like during the day, you could do it as a liner. These two colors, this pink and this champagne, I'm kind of like interested to see what's going to happen. Since we already have this look, I just want to take a little bit of this champagne color and just see what would happen. I just go like right here. It's like putting a tiny bit of warmth. That was cool. That was pretty cool. I am like such a cool toned person, but just adding that teeny little bit of like that champagne-y color, I feel like this is like my New Year's Eve look. Maybe not my hair, but I love that the lip is matte, just very cool toned. I want to show you guys this lipstick. So Mob Beauty, the whole entire thing is made of some kind of recyclable material where if you put it into the ground when you're done, it turns back into dirt. So it feels weird. It kind of feels like you're holding paper. But this is one of their clay lipsticks, and I gotta tell you, they are not drying. And for somebody who likes a cool toned nude shade, I used a little bit of the Sink or Swim gel liner, which is another one that you should definitely think about for the sale. These lip liners are flippin' amazing. And at 30% off of like, I think it's $13, you are getting a lot for your money. And I'm just going to show you, even though I just said I really, really like the matte look, this is one of the Sephora brand glosses. It's O2. If I did want to just dab, and by the way, the shape of this like hugs your lip, it's ridiculous. No sparkle. Just a little tiny bit of life. And so I think this is really beautiful. And you can really see it with the light on. I love it. I really do. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. Love like a little bit of like a blacker color like on the outside just to deepen it up like we did on the lash line. Let's try it. The heck, we're here. I'm going into her blackest black. There's no black like this. I want to coat just like that tip. Shake off. And just give myself a wingish. See that little bit of difference? It just made me like, makes me look like my eyelashes are longer. I just think having more dimension and more of a gradient, I think that is the word that I'm looking for. I want more of a gradient. And I just got it with that little bit of black. Let's do one close up for you guys. Turn the mirror this way so you can really have some light. I think it's going to have a good place I would also love to do like an all white pearly look, and I want to use that color. That's on my list of things to do. So sound off down below. Are you a pro xenon, anti xenon? Are you a cool tone lover? Are you a warm tone lover? I'll tell you, Natasha, she just keeps on innovating. And that's the one thing I have to say about her. Her formulas update, her looks update and change. She gives you a complete variety. I never feel like I'm like buying the same palette over and over with her. And I think in this space with these two palettes, she's filled a hole that was in her repertoire of palettes. And I think we're all going to really enjoy this, especially around the holidays. I mean, it's kind of nice to have some sparkle back in my life again and not just these matte beige eyeshadows. I am not a TikToker, and I love my long form content. I just do. And I don't care really what goes viral. I am Gen X. I'm going through a lot of the same things that you guys are. And if you want to put a bunch of eyeshadow on to go out for dinner one night, I'm a hell yeah. I like that idea. I think this is pretty. I think it's fun. I think it's glamorous. I think it's different. And if you were like a red lip wearer and you just did like a very, very like beigey kind of cheek you could do. There's so many ways this could go. I think it's a good one, but I want to know what you think, because that is what I am about. I am about building a community of beauty lovers who support each other and talk about what they think. What do you think? Love it? Hate it? Are you in the middle? I do not have a code for anybody yet because I have no affiliates or anything. But if you go to Not Fit for Brimp Beauty, there is a 15% off on this palette. And I've been hearing that people are getting it in like a day from the Natasha Denona website. Beautylish also. I have to say Beautylish, if you're worried about anything shattering or breaking en route, like with these little bubble wrap things they have at Ulta now, your stuff comes broken, they do quite a nice job with packaging. And I don't think I've ever gotten anything from them that was bounced around in a box. Sephora obviously is going to have this. The Rouge, you guys can get 20 off on this. So I think it's worth picking up. I think there haven't been that many eyeshadow palettes this year. And if you only buy one this year, buy this one. I know I'm wearing like the total opposite and like I'm ruining the way it looks. I need a nude. Glam used to be like my go-to, and now I have two. I've got this rosy one. I've got that. And if I want to go dark and sinister and smoky, I've got exactly what I need. Thank you all for being here today. I enjoyed this so much. I am going to take this off and do the Sephora video for you guys so you have that ready to go for tomorrow. It is going to be kind of a haul, anti-haul. I'm going to talk about if you wait for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, was it a better deal? And not everybody gets 20% off. Some people get 15 and some people get 10. I pay 10% in tax. So I always look at that and I'm like, when I look at the price of something and I think I'm going to save 10% on that number, it never feels good. A lot of the companies, I should say, did 25 last year, 30%. There's some 40%. There's some free gifts that come. There's a lot of thinking to do. So Sephora does have a lot of great stuff in the Sephora collection that we're going to talk about. And I hope that you will subscribe to my channel, hit that bell. Trying for every day. Sometimes it turns into every other day. It all depends on how long it takes me to edit something, but I am trying to get videos out to you guys that are helpful. So please consider subscribing, share this video with somebody you think you might like it, and thank you so much for being here today. I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thanks for being here.